All right, what's going on, guys? This is sad state of affairs yet again. I feel like I keep saying that every time I do like a Call of Duty video. But today we actually got some bad news for Battlefield 6 as well. As you guys know, the open beta is live right now. I'm recording this on Friday, but this video is going to go up on Saturday. But anyway, yeah, like I've been saying, we got some bad news. First off, what the hell is on your screen right now? Look at this. Yeah. This is probably going to be the thumbnail of the video too. This is the new Gear Jockey bundle, new anime skin. I don't even know if this is anime or what. It doesn't belong in Call of Duty. I think at this point, they probably just use ChatGPT and say like, oh, what's the new hottest thing for our player base? And they probably just go off of whatever ChatGPT tells them. I think I saw a video. I forget which content creator made it, but it was like, oh, ChatGPT, like give me like, 20 like cosmetic bundle ideas for my game, which is Call of Duty, something like that. I'm pretty sure like Rambo and Terminator and stuff like that was at the top of the list. And surprise, surprise, those bundles have been in Call of Duty. At the same time, they kind of make a little bit of sense because at least it's, characters with guns, characters that like fight in war times, things like that. This bundled Gear Jockey thing, Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj, yeah, I don't know where you're getting those from. I don't think I've ever seen Nicki Minaj hold a gun. I don't think I've ever associated Beavis and Butthead with a shooter or an FPS title. So I don't know, man. I think that Call of Duty is just, as you guys know, lost its identity, like by far, and I think the hope these days is just that new Call of Duties and new video games don't lose their identity nearly as much as Call of Duty has. I think a lot of people are hyped for Battlefield 6, not only because it's like a fun shooter, but because it actually feels like a modern military shooter. Like imagine that. Wow. Like there's not a stupid anime character. There's not a sports athlete or a celebrity in my game running around. Wow. Imagine that. That's crazy. What a concept, Oh no, Battlefield's not going to make like $5 billion off of, losers buying these bundles. Like, oh no, like maybe they're going to make money because, I don't know, it's a good game and they actually care about the integrity of their work. But nah. When it comes to Call of Duty, just half-ass a product, ship it out every single year, and then just make up the money by, adding in whoever's hot for the year. Oh, LeBron James is hot for this year. Okay, add him. Oh, Messi's hot for this year. Okay, add him. Like whatever, it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like I'm supported as a fan of this franchise. And I think that's why it's hard to be a fan of this franchise. I do want to switch gears over to the Battlefield 6 beta because, like I said, there is some unfortunate news. The rush mode, a lot of people are saying that the rush mode has been butchered. It is not fun. I think it's because it's 16v16 or something like that. I'm not much of a Battlefield guy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to act like, oh, I'm going to play Battlefield from here on out. Like, no, I'm not going to be like that. But I do want to cover the news because a lot of people are, talking about it, obviously. And I have a lot of friends who play Battlefield. I have a lot of subscribers who are like more so about Battlefield than Call of Duty. So I do want to appease them and, give you guys some forms of updates as well. Another thing wrong or going bad with the Battlefield 6 beta is that the skill-based matchmaking or the matchmaking in general feels off compared to the first weekend. Maybe they're tweaking team-based or skill-based in some different way. But yeah, it feels off. A lot of people are noticing that the queue times are longer. Even Nero Cinema said something about how it feels like something similar to skill-based matchmaking is in the game. And that's probably because either, your skill is more set compared to the first weekend. And, the first weekend, they're just like putting you with nobody or with everybody. And then this weekend, they're like, oh, okay, well, you have like a 10 KD. Like you're not going to play against someone who just got the game first. Right. So I don't know. I think skill-based matchmaking in general it's just such a tricky situation because you can't have people going against people who don't know what a controller is, who don't know how to run on the game. You can't have those people going because, especially in a beta, it's like, you think those people are going to come back? Oh man, I played 3 games and, I just ran into like Nero Cinema and all these good people like over and over again. Like, wow, I'm not going to play Battlefield 6 now. And boom, that sale is gone. So I think as in terms of a beta, you kind of have to have it a little bit, it doesn't need to be thick as hell, which I think is the problem with Call of Duty is they don't want to give you like a easy game here and there. It's just like as soon as you hop in, get ready to sweat, get ready to compete for $1 million. And I don't know, a lot of people in my previous videos have been saying like, oh no, Battlefield 6 doesn't have the same kind of matchmaking. You've never played Battlefield 6. You don't know what you're talking about. And wow, lo and behold, look at what's going on. Everybody starts complaining now. I didn't say necessarily it was skill-based matchmaking. I said it was team-based matchmaking. Half the people in one of my previous videos did not watch the video. I don't know. Maybe I got to be more entertaining in the first 5 minutes, but for some reason, I say something in like a 7-minute mark, nobody hears it, and then they just feel the need to leave a comment correcting people. I don't know. That's just YouTube, I guess. But yeah, that's the unfortunate news when it comes to Battlefield 6. I'm not expecting that this game was going to be perfect. I didn't think so. First off, it's a beta, okay? So you obviously need to have some tweaks in it. The second thing is that it's a brand new title. EA has not made a new game in 3 to 4 years at this point. So like, yeah, they're probably going to be a little rusty. There's things that are going to be butchered. I'm sure that the community, if you mention things like the the rush mode, not being as fluid as it should be and things like that, I'm sure that the community manager, the devs, are going to fix it. I'm sure that they're going to try, because unlike Call of Duty, unlike Activision, they actually care about, making a good game for more than 1 year, because I don't think there's going to be a new Battlefield game next year, which means that this game has to hit. This game has to last for a couple of years at the very minimum. And hopefully it does. Let's transition back over to Call of Duty, because I got some new information here. Not necessarily new, but I forgot to cover this one. This one's kind of big from the Black Ops 7 leaks video, but apparently tac sprint is removed. Now, tac sprint is not the worst thing in the world. I think there's a huge like discourse when people are like, why is this a thing, dude? They don't care about it. No, I don't care that much. I don't think it's that big a deal. I do think, yeah, the point has been made that on like super small maps, which is essentially what we got in Black Ops 6, why do we need tac sprint, right? Why are we, sprinting for like 5 seconds and then running to the entire side of the map? Maps like Babylon, maps like Nuketown, right? Like they're very small maps. Payback, all these stuff. Like there's very few big maps in Black Ops 6. So it's like, why are we doing that, right? Unless Black Ops 7 is going to have some like huge maps here and there, I don't think tac sprint is necessary. I also saw a leak from the Ghost of Hope that, you guys know that Slipstream perk? It's a red perk that was added to Black Ops 6 in a like a DLC season or something like that. Basically, it makes you have like increased speed, but then you don't get tac sprint. I'm pretty sure I saw Ghost of Hope saying something like, this is going to be the base speed. This is going to be the base movement when it comes to the game, when it comes to Black Ops 7 going forward. Like it's not going to be how it is in Black Ops 6. And I think that's good, because I'm fine with the Omni movement, things like that. I am not the biggest fan of tac sprint. I don't think that people need to be crucified over the idea. I don't think it's that serious, but I would say that if I had an opinion, like, yeah, I don't need it, and I'm fine with them removing that. Lastly, I just want to say, man, like, I think that the days of Call of Duty hype and being excited are just over. I see so many old heads and unks and, people on the timeline just not talking about Call of Duty. Nobody hype about Black Ops 7. Even like these Ghost of Hope leaks that came out the other day, like people are like, oh, sounds cool. And then like, oh, when's Battlefield coming out? Like, oh, when's this game coming out? Like, oh, I just had a taco for lunch. Like people just don't care. Like they tell us what we want to hear every single year, dude, every year in, year out. And then what are we supposed to do? Just be like, oh, like this sounds great. And then streamers, dude, like I saw this clip of like Tim the Tatman surfacing, Modern Warzone be tweeting from, last year and stuff like that. It's just like, oh my God, Black Ops 6 is going to be the best game. Oh my God, they're listening this year. Dude, how many years can we hear this in a row before it's like, all right, dude, yeah, like I'm sure you are. It's kind of like being in a relationship where it's like you continually voice like, hey, like, I feel like I'm paying for like every meal, can you like help start paying? And then every single meal, it's like, oh yeah, dude, like for sure. Like, I'm so sorry. I got you. Next time, oh, I forgot my credit card. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Have you ever eaten with like a homie like that? Like, dude, like they're so annoying. And I don't know. That's kind of what it's feeling like with Call of Duty, where it's like, dude, help out a little bit, like I'm trying to support you. I'm trying to support my homie, right? Like I'm down to pay for a meal here and there, but it's like every time Nah, man, that just stops being fun, stops being a good time. And that's where we are with Call of Duty. Call of Duty has stopped being a good time for a while now. Like, if we're being honest here, I don't think people, myself included, maybe I can just speak for myself, I guess. I don't think people have had fun with Call of Duty in quite a while. They are just continuously overhyping us, continuously, I guess, lying to us. And the Steam numbers represent that. The Steam numbers are telling the truth. You know, numbers don't lie in this case. And so, anyway, man, that's all I got for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Hopefully we get some new, Call of Duty news going forward. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to touch Black Ops or Battlefield 6 that much. I'm not really that into those kind of games. I like Call of Duty as much as I bag on it. This is my game. This is my franchise. And so I'm going to try to stick to it. If it really sucks, I guess I'll get Battlefield. But yeah, that's where we're at. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments section down below. If you're playing the Battlefield 6 beta right now, does it feel different? Let me know the queue times. I'm very interested in that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.